How you doing? This is another example video that helps you out with some of your Khan Academy work. Specifically, the video examples of the problems we'll be going through for this video are from the volume of cylinders assignment. So, before we get into the volume of cylinders, we're going to talk, or the actual problems, we're going to talk about what a cylinder is and the volume formula that works with it. On my whiteboard here, I've copied a volume formula that you could find in any of our Google documents. You could also find on Google or any reference sheet if you look for volume of a cylinder. The formula for the volume of a cylinder is V, or volume, is equal to pi times radius squared times the height. And that's what I'm going to show you over here on my whiteboard for a second as we start shifting towards these Khan Academy examples. I have a picture of a cylinder here. The radius of a cylinder is like a can. It has a circular base. So the radius is the distance halfway across that circular base. The height, of course, represents how tall that can or that cylinder is. And to find the volume, pi r squared should look familiar from area of a circle. That gives you the area of the base, and then we multiply by the height. Again, you don't have to memorize this formula. You're welcome to look it up anytime you need, but you should start recognizing the volume formula for a cylinder as the area of a circle multiplied by the height. The example we're going to take a look at here, and we'll drop the whiteboard a little bit at first. So the example I'm highlighting here, it asks us to find the volume, and volume is a measure for how much space this cylinder takes up. And the cylinder that we're looking at, I'm not a great drawer for a cylinder, but I'm going to do my best here. The cylinder looks to have, to us here, a height of 5. So I'm going to make this whiteboard a little larger again. And the height for the cylinder we're looking at has a height of 5, so I'm going to put an h of 5 there. And we also see the distance halfway across the circle, which represents the radius. In this case is 2 units across the circular base. So the radius is 2 and the height is 5. Any of these volume problems, no matter what shape we're working with, it starts with using the correct formula. In this case for a cylinder, it's pi times radius squared times height. Our radius is 2, our height is 5, so that's what I'm going to plug into the formula for my first step. I'm going to substitute 2 in for the radius, so that becomes 2 squared. I'm going to substitute 5 in for the height, so that becomes 5. Now the volume formula is built, so I could just multiply all these terms together. I'm going to first do 2 squared, which is 4, so this becomes pi times 4 times 5 would give me the volume of that cylinder. 4 times 5 is 20, so I could say the volume of this cylinder is 20 pi. And we'll see in the directions here, it says either enter an exact answer in terms of pi, so I could put in 20 pi, or I could use 3.14 for pi. So if I want to do 2 more steps to have an estimate for what 20 pi is equal to, I plug in 3.14 for pi, and 20 times 3.14 is just going to move the decimal and double it, so it's actually going to become 62.8. You are welcome to use a calculator, but if I double 3.14, that's 6.28, and move that decimal, it's 62.8. So either one of those would work for the volume for this cylinder here. Because all of the problems in this assignment are pretty similar to number 1, they'll just give you a cylinder and provide the radius and height to make you work the volume out. I'm not going to provide a second example. I would encourage you to recognize that this volume formula, pi times radius squared times height equals the volume of the cylinder, is all I need to find the volume of any cylinder. Once I know the radius and height, I just plug those numbers in, and I can use 3.14 for pi towards the end. If you have questions about this assignment, definitely watch the videos from Sal Khan, talk to your classmates, and as always, please feel free to email me or ask me for some help on these assignments if the video is not enough. Thanks for watching to the end.